This week, our Jaunts take us to Savannah, walking the city streets with family and sharing the real stories of this historic city.
From its beginnings to famous connections, we finish at one of Savannah's most unique and meaningful places, Bonaventure. Come and explore Savannah with us through local eyes.
Welcome, Jordan Jaunts, to Savannah.
Oh, thank you very much, David.
Welcome to Savannah.
So this is an unusual film, but normally just me and Nicola. So this is David, my cousin David, and this is my nephew, Evan.
Hi.
So we are in Savannah in Georgia, as David said. It's fantastic to be here. This historic, beautiful city in Georgia.
And the great news is we've got some local guides. So instead of James and I making up the facts, we're going to get some accurate history here.
I can make up the facts.
Leave it to him.
So come with us, we'll show you this beautiful city.
Woo. It's a cracker.
It's almost like when they burnt. Jim Williams bought this house in the 80s, and he was an antique dealer, and he was very affluent, but he was a kind of strange bird who had like these big lavish New Year parties. He would manipulate the people of Savannah, and whoever had been nice to him that year would be invited to the party, and the party was just like all expenses, or no expenses spared. It was just a big lavish party, and everybody looked forward to this event. And he lived here, and he'd been by himself, and he had a young friend or helper who kind of helped him with the house, and he became his lover. And then there was a fight happened, and it broke out, and he ended up killing this young guy. Yeah. And the court case went on for years and years. Eventually he was found guilty.
The book is
Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, yes. Which was written by, it was a journalist who came here and just stayed in Savannah, started speaking to some of the local people, and then it was staying for a few months. And everybody let them into his confidence, and he just basically started writing about these people, all the characters that lived here, but it kind of revolved around the murder. And that basically created a lot of the kind of buzz about Savannah and increased the tourism here.
Just look at this wonderful pub behind me. Does this remind you of somewhere? You could be in London here. This British traditional pub.
If you've seen the film Forrest Gump, you might recognise this place. Just at the beginning of the film there's a feather, and it falls down past that steeple.
Mama used to say life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
And they've taken the bench away though. That's a disappointing.
The bench is in the museum, I think.
Is it in your garden?
Okay.
In my garden, that's right, we stole it.
Well, the bench was once there. What a great way to spend Thanksgiving. Everyone out, family, friends, having a drink, some food. Yes. Is it always as busy as that, Evan?
It is, it really is. I'd say today more than ever, honestly.
Yeah. So, out and about last night in Savannah, it was quiet.
Yep.
Is that normal as well? In the evening?
I would say, yeah, once it gets a little bit colder in the months of November and December, it starts to get a little bit more quiet, but you know, they have a tourist season 24/7, 365 days a year. So it's always busy in Savannah.
So behind us here is James Oglethorpe. He was the founder of Savannah.
Originally he came here with indentured servants, and they started to settle this area in Georgia.
So he had some firm ideas. So no lawyers, no alcohol, and no enslaved people.
But when the growth of Savannah was found to be too slow and uncompetitive, 20 odd years in, he went back in that, and they did use enslaved people here. So much of Savannah was, like many other places, built by the labour of enslaved people.
What about this? This is the Church of Scotland. Can't help feel at home here in Savannah. Wow. But it does show the amount of people who came from Scotland and they live here today. Well, not them, the ancestors. You just come across one square after another. They're just wonderful, and it just is how the whole city is formed. Many squares, at 20 or?
I believe it's 20.
20 squares.
Yep. Savannah's known for the wide variety of just like squares.
Something like a grid, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. It's a grid. Yep.
So easy to walk around, and just you can cross something different everywhere you turn. It's magnificent.
Imagine that on a t-shirt. This is the old dueling ground. What a crazy way to sort out an argument. Just use your words, people. Use your words.
Ask my girlfriend out.
Yeah.
Either that, I'll just agree with your wife.
Yeah.
So this is quite old. It looks quite new, but it's actually old, and it was. Wow. And the famous thing about this one is the choir master that worked here. He wrote Jingle Bells.
I'm seeing the
You
sign
see,
there,
Jingle Bells
Jingle
Church,
Bells.
yeah.
My goodness, who would have ever known Jingle Bells came from Savannah? From the choir master in this church? And the thing is, I thought it was Santa that wrote that as well. I'm a wee bit disappointed. Thought it was a big man. I mean, I tell you, my parents had a lot to answer for.
I think it's a sundial.
They do the best.
Look at the gas lanterns.
Yep.
How'd you like buying one of these, Nicola?
I could imagine living here.
I can imagine living here. It's absolutely fantastic place.
Perfect climate. We're here in November in summer clothes.
What,
Although the people who live here are not in summer clothes the same way. But,
oh, look at the Christmas tree and that. I think Nicola was just talking about some of the people, because Evan and David are both wearing shorts.
Yeah.
They are embracing the autumn here in Savannah.
Yes. This is, you really can't beat this kind of weather. Like, I wish I was someone who lived in a place like this, who the weather was just nice all year round. But the truth is, it is really hot down here over the summer. So to get a little break with days like this is just a breath of fresh air, literally.
And this is like a good day in the Scottish summer.
Oh yes, definitely.
I don't know how you'd ever find out about them. You have to come stay.
yeah. Now, I'm going to take you somewhere we've never been before. On all of our Jordan Jaunts videos, we have never been to one of these places before. So I'm going to take you somewhere surprising. Keep watching to find out where.
Even I'm surprised.
Well, you need to keep listening for directions. I'm just...
Talk about being surprised. I cannot believe you brought me and you guys to the cemetery, Nicola. What are you thinking?
I know, but this is not just any old cemetery. This is a world famous cemetery, and this draws tourists to Savannah, and I believe for good reason.
Now most people have no clue.
A very unusual thing that we've seen is there's tour guides getting about in wee cars, taking people round the cemetery and talking about individuals and their stories. It does make the place so unique.
this is the final resting place of Corin Lawton. Now Corin was 31 when she got engaged. Everyone was delighted, her full family were delighted. She was an only child, and back in those days if you weren't married you were a spinster and no one wanted that. Now Corin, engaged at 31, and her dad was so happy, and her dad was like, you know, anything you want, and they got her a beautiful silk wedding dress for her wedding, shipped over from Paris. Now just before her wedding day, 2 weeks before she was to get married, she died, and the statue on her gravestone is of her in her wedding dress, and people bring gifts to her now, wedding cake and other gifts, so that she can get a taste of wedding cake that she never managed in life. And people get married here right beside that gravestone because of the symbolism of it. And I know that bringing you here to a cemetery could seem a wee bit creepy, but it's not meant to. And in fact, when the cemetery was designed, and in fact lots of cemeteries in the Victorian days, they were designed as places for families to come, have picnics, relax. It wasn't just about places to come and mourn.
The Mercer family all together there, and John Mercer, the very famous songwriter.
Now John is famous for writing 1,500 songs, including Moon River, Hooray for Hollywood.
Did John ever finish any songs?
What do you mean?
Well, you mentioned 1,500 songs, so I'm thinking, I'm thinking that. And that way I'm like,
no.
That's certainly
but
not unusual.
No. 1,500 songs.
Ah, right, okay. Just when you said that, I was like, what?
I suppose it is an odd way to put it.
Yeah, right, okay. I thought it was a bit like, I get called the chorus king, so I thought maybe he was
maybe John was the same.
Maybe he was just a half song guy. It turns out he's got 1,500 songs, fantastic. And
yeah, and we know them, you know, Moon River, da 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 da.
Don't know it. Something I do find interesting about going around a cemetery is the fact that everybody's got different types of tombstones, headstones, some very simple, some a bit bigger, some huge. And it's interesting, this world, even at death, it depends how much money you had. So is it wasteful? Don't know.
See, I'm maybe more romantic than you then, because I see it as like a symbol of love.
Does that mean when I pass away you can get me a huge one?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you pass away, I'm definitely get you a simple one, so there's more money left for me.
That I personally find cemeteries quite life affirming. It's almost a bit stoic, that remembering we're all mortal, so make sure we live it and enjoy it while we can, and be kind.
Yeah, definitely be kind.
You know, what legacy are we leaving behind, and make sure it's one we're proud of. And I don't think I've ever been to a more beautiful cemetery.
I would agree. What a setting on beautiful river. And that's why so many people come, fish here, have a picnic. The one I do find slightly strange is people come and get married here. I don't know what I think about that. Oh, do you know, it does make you cry looking at some headstones. It really is so sad, and you look at how young some people passed. It makes you grateful to be here. It really does. Don't know when Nicholas went. She seems to have disappeared. Hope she's not going to try and jump out at me. Wouldn't be the place for it.
Now where I'm taking you now has one of the most surprising traditions and legends in the whole cemetery. This is a statue of Gracie Watson. She passed away when she was only 6, which is really sad, and people over 100 years ago. And people still come today and they leave wee gifts at her graveside. Coins, stones, toys, flowers. And the legend has it is that when the items are moved, her statue cries.
David, what's your favourite thing about living in this beautiful place, Savannah?
I think it's the trees. I think the trees here are just magnificent. You know, there's so many streets with just all the live oaks and the Spanish moss. It's just always pretty, the way the sun kind of shines through the trees. It's just such a charming place to live.
I would say all of the local events and how friendly all the neighbors are. Just like we have the farmers market at Forest Park every weekend on Saturday. And then we also have stuff like the Porch Fest where you can like go locally and see live music on people's porches. It's magical, and it's even better to live here and get to enjoy all that.
So cool, the Porch Fest. It's really cool.
For me, all the squares, it's like a grid system. It's so easy to walk around. You can see so much in a short space of time.
Okay.
So we have had the most amazing time here in Savannah. It's just been one of those best times in life events. I've so enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You guys have been amazing. It's
Yeah.
been so nice to catch up.
Come back soon.
It's so happy.
We'll
We're
be
so
here.
happy to have you guys here.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
And we will be back.
But what a great time. And I think the only thing for me is I've not been here long enough.
Yeah.
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 But fantastic. Until next time, see ya.
See ya.
See ya.